Also, watch us on social media each and every morning on Facebook and on YouTube. Just search for Civic Center TV and you'll find us. And this morning we are on the radio on 89.3 Lakes FM. Easy way to find us as you're driving in and around the Greater West Bloomfield area. So thank you for joining us. First thing we do each and every day in the program is take a look at the weather. And today, weather-wise, well, it's a little bit cloudy, but it did finally warm up. My goodness, the cold weather we had over the past several days until we headed into the weekend. Now we're back into more of a typical weather pattern as our temperature today is right around 27 degrees. It'll be warming up to 35. And we'll get there, well, not too long, without much snow or rain. Tomorrow, 47 degrees. How about that? And Wednesday, sunshine and 45. So a really nice couple of days ahead of us here in the Greater West Bloomfield area. Well, we're really excited later on this morning to be joined by Zach Hilbers. He is a West Bloomfield High School football coach. He coaches the quarterbacks, and he happened to know one of the players in the Pro Bowl. We'll talk about this really amazing Pro Bowl that we had yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, that the NFL players are playing flag football and then had a lot of other games. The most unusual Pro Bowl we have ever seen. We'll have that and talk to you a little bit more about that coming up a little bit later on in the program and talk about a whole lot more as we talk to one of our fine football coaches here in West Bloomfield. Today, I don't know that it's really all that important, but I'm here to report the news, whatever it happens to be. Today is National Frozen Yogurt Day. Now, why they schedule National Frozen Yogurt Day right in the middle of winter, I mean, that doesn't really make any sense to me, but maybe if you're in California or somewhere a little bit warmer, this is a good day for it. But nonetheless, I would be on the hunt and on the prowl from your favorite local frozen yogurt dealer or outlet to see if you can get some kind of a special deal. National Frozen Yogurt Today. Why? Who knows? Just because. The Greater West Bloomfield Michigan Week Committee is very busy right now. We're working awful hard to get nominations for our annual Michigan Week celebration. Now, if you're not familiar with Michigan Week, we've been doing this for 51 years here in West Bloomfield. And Michigan Week was started as a statewide event, and then it became kind of thing that we did here in West Bloomfield and a couple of other communities did, and not a lot of other people around the state have continued to celebrate Michigan Week. We absolutely have, and one of the things that Michigan Week was originally set up for was to promote volunteerism, and that's exactly what we use Michigan Week for here in West Bloomfield. We have an annual breakfast that is coming up in May. We'll tell you more about that as we get closer. We broadcast live here on Civic Center TV and all of our outlets. A lot of work goes into it. This year it's going to be at Temple Israel, and we're thrilled to be there because they have great facilities and plenty of room so we can get everybody in that wants to come. Typically about 250 people from the community join us at Michigan Week, and we're really thrilled about that. But right now, the reason I'm talking to you about this event that is way down the road in May is now is the time to submit nominations for Michigan Week. You can go to the Michigan Week website. We've got a picture of it here for you right now. Your nominations need to be submitted electronically. And you've got to get them in by Friday, February 17th. You've got a couple of weeks, but I wouldn't wait. Nominations cannot be accepted after that date. Now, nominees, these are people that you think have had a big contribution to our community and in the area of volunteerism. And there are a number of categories, and I'm not going to run through them all on TV today. We might get them on the screen here, but you can go into the website that's michiganweek.org and go to the nominate page, and you'll see all the different categories and all the different information. Bottom line, though, just want to let you know all nominees must have lived, worked, volunteered, or attended school in the Greater West Bloomfield area in the prior year. And remember, when it comes to schools, it doesn't mean they needed to go to West Bloomfield High School, but one of the high schools in our region, so West Bloomfield, Walled Lake, Bloomfield Hills, Pontiac, one of the schools in our immediate broadcast region, the area that we know as Greater West Bloomfield. If you've won the award in the past, you are ineligible in the same category, but you might want to be able to be honored in a different category. Awards committee is going to be hard at work, but they can't get the work done until you nominate people. So it's the first part of this very important process. It's nomination time for Michigan Week, and thank you very much for listening to all that. And we invite you to take an opportunity, go to the website, michiganweek.org, go to the nominate link on the webpage, and read all about it. And I'm sure you know somebody that's done something amazing. You know, it doesn't have to be a big event. Maybe it's just some kid in the neighborhood that shoveled all the sidewalks for all the older people on your street. Whatever it is, nominate somebody and get involved. So one of our other very large events here at Civic Center TV, this one is right around the corner. And we are glad again this year to be presenting State of the Communities and doing it live and in person this year. And it's going to be happening at the all-new West Bloomfield Middle School. Mark your calendar for March 13th at 7 o'clock at West Bloomfield Middle School, the State of the Communities. Now what this is, and it's a good week to promote it because we've got the State of the Union, of course, President speaking before Congress tomorrow night on national TV at 8 o'clock. State of the Communities, same kind of things like the State of the State and the State of the Union. It's an opportunity for us to take a look at what's been going on over the past year here in West Bloomfield, Orchard Lake, Kegel Harbor, and Sylvan Lake. And then take a look also at what's going to be going on and coming up over the next year. It's a very, very interesting night, and we invite you to come join us live and in person, again, March 13th. We're really excited that we're going to have Rob Kalman, who is the mayor of the city of Kegel Harbor. Norm Finkelstein will be joining us, the mayor of Orchard Lake, the city of Orchard Lake Village. Jim Cowper, the mayor of the city of Sylvan Lake, and Steve Kaplan, of course, will be joining us. He is the supervisor of West Bloomfield Township. In addition, we're going to have a special feature with our superintendent of schools, Dr. Danya Bazzi will be joining us, and there's an awful lot going on in the West Bloomfield schools. I'm sure the other schools as well, but we're going to talk to Dr. Bazzi about what has been going on in the West Bloomfield schools. We've got a lot of facilities issue. We'll be in her brand new school, of course, for the presentation. So it should be a lot of fun. Mark your calendar, and we invite you to join us live and in person March 13th. All the details are now coming together. I want to thank everybody who is on that list of people that I just mentioned, and you were invited. We got a seat right up there in the front row for you on March 13th at the middle school. And if you've not been in that beautiful new building, great opportunity to do so. So again, mark your calendar for Civic Center TV, March 13th, the State of the Communities. And by the way, just a quick side note, that happens during Sunshine Week. And Sunshine Week is a week where we honor and celebrate freedom of speech. We celebrate the openness of government in our communities. So there couldn't really be a better time than that week to do that. Congratulations to everyone in Walled Lake who got involved in the polar plunge. Big turnout from what I understand over the weekend at Walled Lake. Polar plunge was back in the area, and single-digit temperatures on Saturday when all this is going on. Oakland County Polar Plunge at Walled Lake had jumpers from all over the area to raise money for a Special Olympics. This year, it was a little different, and they dedicated it to law enforcement. So we had a lot of the police officers from our area engaged. You can see we got another picture here of some people that decided to get costumed up for the jump, and there they are. But thanks to all the folks from law enforcement, from all the various departments, Sergeant Brad Connell of the Walled Lake Township Police Department said 300 plungers registered, and nearly 2/3 of them were members of Oakland County law enforcement. So we salute you. Congratulations. I mean, this is an amazing number. The plunge raised $119,000. So just some of the things going on in West Bloomfield and the greater West Bloomfield area this morning. We're going to take a break. We'll be back in just a moment. Thank you very much for tuning in, watching on television, radio, the internet, wherever you happen to be. I'm Dave Scott. This is The Splash, and we will be right back.
We'll be right back with The Splash Live. Why Watch Civic Center TV with our brand new live captions. To turn on live captions, go to civiccentertv.com and click Watch Live. In your web browser, click on the Options tab in the top right and find the Accessibilities tab. Then just switch on live captions to heighten your enjoyment of our local programming. Thank you so much for watching Civic Center TV.
1 in 4 Michigan homes has high levels of radon, a naturally occurring radioactive gas known to cause lung cancer. It doesn't matter where you live or what type of home you have. You won't even know it's there unless you test. So don't wait. Testing is cheap and easy, and if there's a problem, it's simple to fix. Visit michigan.gov/radon to learn more.
We took action, will you?
And now, back to the Splash, live.
Well, good morning and welcome back to the Splash Live. Dave Scott here in our Splash Live studios. Thank you very much for tuning in today. What an unusual day of football we had yesterday. I'm telling you, this was the most unusual Pro Bowl game that I've ever seen. And I could see our next guest, Zach Hilbers, West Bloomfield High School quarterback coach, smiling as well. Zach, thanks for joining us this morning on the Splash.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me. Thank you.
Hey, no problem. And what class were you teaching right now that I pulled you out of?
Yeah, we got my PE 2 phys ed class going on right now. So I got my teaching partner kind of pulling double duty right there on the other side of his door.
Well, I appreciate you taking time for the community for a minute and chatting with us. First of all, did you get a chance to watch the Pro Bowl or whatever it was yesterday on TV?
You know, it's funny. I watched almost everything except the actual like football games. I saw a lot of the skills competitions and all kind of that fun stuff that they were doing, but not the actual game, if you call it that.
Well, and we can understand. I mean, the Pro Bowl has evolved, and the last thing anyone wants to do, a highly paid, valuable NFL player, is get injured in a game that's absolutely meaningless. So the Pro Bowl's definitely evolved. There hasn't been a whole lot of contact over the last several years. So this year they decided to make it a little bit more interesting and turn it into flag football. And at first I was like, well, I don't know. But it was a lot. It ended up being a lot of fun watching our NFL players play flag football. Yeah,
I mean, you're talking about some of the best athletes in the world. You get them out there running around a little bit. It's probably going to be entertaining. And, I get it. Like you said, you just the last thing they want in the world is for any of those guys to get hurt when they're already playing, a pretty violent, dangerous game. So it was a cool way to kind of showcase them and recognize them with, I guess, a lot lower risk than normally they have associated.
Well, and you had all the skill guys out in the field, right? And they certainly had an opportunity, the quarterbacks and the other players, the receivers and the defensive players certainly had an opportunity to show off their skills. We saw some of that through some interceptions and a lot of fun. So it was fun, that and all the other games, a little bit crazy. The reason I wanted to chat with you today, though, is talk a little bit about somebody that you know, Matt Judon, who was with the West Bloomfield High School Lakers. Tell us about your connection to Matt.
Yeah, so it's been a while. I've known Matthew a long, long time, since he was like a young kid. And I mean, probably 5th, 6th grade or so. His brother, he's got a big family, a lot of brothers and sisters. His oldest brother, Michael, is a year younger than me. So I've known him almost his entire life. Came through, played for us. You could tell that he had a chance to be really, really good, and he took that chance and he capitalized on it. He ran with it, and it's very rewarding to see him kind of, I guess, get rewarded for all those hours of hard work and all the success that he's achieved.
And you take a look at his path, very interesting. He was part of a Grand Valley Laker football team that, if I have the years right in my head, really started to emerge when he was there. And then he goes off and plays at one of the best teams in the NFL, the Patriots. So he has really had a charmed career, all started right here at West Bloomfield.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Grand Valley's been really good and competitive at the national level at their level for, got to be almost 20 years now. So they were pretty established when he went there, and he did a good job of, I guess, keeping them at that high level. I don't think they won a national title with him there, but they had some runs, the semis and the title game. And, he had a long, productive career there, led the country in sacks, regardless of division, his senior year. And, Baltimore took a chance on him in, I think, the 4th or the 5th round. And he played for the Ravens for a few years, proved that he could play at that level and he belonged there. And was really rewarded a couple of years ago with the Patriots.
So he's had a great career in the NFL, and it's just another really wonderful connection. And I love sharing these connections with the community just to let you know the impact that, little old West Bloomfield is having on the national level. It's awful exciting. And, he came through here at a time when our program wasn't quite as high profile as it is now. But now you take a look at our national signing days that we just had, and we're sending, 4 of our great students off to his alma mater. By the way, my alma mater. I always love it when somebody goes to Grand Valley from West Bloomfield because we're the Lakers, they're the Lakers. It's kind of a cool connection for us. But other than the amazing connection we have at the University of Michigan, we're ending up with a pretty solid channel right to Grand Valley now as well.
Yeah, I'd have to say you're correct. They just Coach Mitchell, who's been their head coach for a few years now, I think since Brian Kelly left some years ago. It was Brian Kelly, then Chuck Martin, then Matt Mitchell. So he's been there a long time. They had a lot of success, and he just left this past year to go to University of Wisconsin. And I know they're really excited about their new hire, and all our kids that are signing to go there. They were excited to hear. I think it's Coach Wooster's name. He's going to get a chance to lead the program. But they've been good for a long time, and it's good to have really good competitive football across all divisions right in your backyard between them. Ferris State, Saginaw Valley, Wayne State. You really have a lot of good institutions where they've been fall.
And of course, we also have a very solid connection with the University of Michigan. Of course, our former head coach is there. We've got, Donovan Edwards and now more players going there that, are certainly going to be in the national spotlight. And I don't know about you, but it always makes me smile when I hear one of the national commentators during a Michigan game say West Bloomfield. Our name has been coming up a lot lately on national TV.
That's been pretty cool. Donovan really had his opportunity toward the end of the season and kind of ran with it. And like you said, you heard that name pop quite a bit. And CJ Harris started the last few games for Ohio University, including the MAC championship and the bowl game at quarterback. And it was great to be able to watch a bowl game where, the graphic has, the high school on it. Because it's cool for us, but I know how much it means to those kids too. I know how much, West Bloomfield meant to Chris Harris, and I know how much it meant to Donovan Edwards, and honestly to Matt Judon too, who he grew up here, his whole life, went to school here his whole life, and I know it matters to them. So it's pretty, I guess, cool and rewarding to see it from their side too.
Well, I know he's got to be very busy during the football season, but maybe sometime after he retires, we can get him to come back on a Friday night, get him under the lights back here at West Bloomfield. My guess is he would probably enjoy that.
Oh, he would. It's the coolest thing. That kid was such a personality, such a jokester. He's so full of life, and none of this has changed him at all. Has he probably matured a little bit since he's 16? Yeah, we hope everybody has, myself included. But man, he has not changed who he is, which is probably the coolest thing about him. I talk to him a couple times a year. He's a busy dude, but I don't care how many times he sacks a quarterback or how much money he makes or this or that. I'm so proud of who he is as a person, who he is as a father. You see the clips of him with his kids at the Pro Bowl. It's great to see, I guess, where the game's kind of taken him.
Well, and it's good that you bring that up, because I get the sense from being around the program as much as I have the past couple of years, that you and the other coaches are providing that same kind of leadership for the people that are coming through the program. And I hear the quotes from the players as they're making their college selections and talking about the kind of program they want to be in, the leaders they want to be around, and the positive impact that they want to have. And, I'm just so impressed every time we get a chance to interview one of the student athletes at West Bloomfield. I can't remember the last time I was let down during one of those interviews. Usually I walk away from them and I think, I think, Zach, oh my gosh, this is a 16-year-old kid,
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. And no, we thank you. It means a lot for you to say that. And we appreciate those sentiments. And, we try to like instill like good work ethic and appreciation for, I guess, just people in general, like for these kids to appreciate, what other people are doing for them, whether it's you guys that do a good job of showcasing their efforts and abilities, their teachers, which put a lot of time and effort into, their future and their success and all that stuff. And, we're proud of all those kids. We're proud of Matthew, obviously, and Tristan Jackson and Khalid Kareem that are playing in the NFL, and all those kids that play college football. But, they're the ones we see every day, on TV and the news and this and whatnot. But, obviously there's many more kids that are just coming here playing high school football and starting their life 5 years later. And, we really hope those same lessons land with them too, because it's applicable to all of us. And, obviously life happens for all of us. So we just hope that they can learn a little bit about life while they're here.
Well, and without question, and I can't feel guilty about highlighting the people that are on TV. That's my job.
Yeah.
But you're right. I mean, the other people that come through the program that aren't going to be playing on Saturdays or Sundays, the impact that this experience has for them at West Bloomfield is absolutely no less, and we obviously see that. The other impact that I'm really excited about the program is that it is starting to become more than just mom and dad coming to games on Friday night. We certainly saw that 2,500 plus people attending most of the home games this year, and that was absolutely amazing. And so the community is starting to understand. Certainly Bellamy had a big impact, but the current coaching staff continues to carry on this tradition to grow this program into something that is more than just for the family and the parents and the students, and all the rest of us appreciate that.
Well, thank you. And, we appreciate the community that's been supportive all along. And like you had mentioned, we do owe a lot of that to Coach Bellamy for helping establish it, just really doing things the right way. I guess making a program that the community wanted to pull for. And, it's a lot easier, I guess, to continue that work than it is to start the work like he did. So we just hope that we can continue it in that right direction, and we do appreciate the support we've gotten from everybody.
Well, Zach, that is really well said. You're right. Getting it started is one thing. Continuing to do it year after year, head into the classroom, teach in the classroom, get out on the football field after school, work with these young men all year long, having the influence that you have on them. That's a handful. Tell us real quickly, we only got a minute or two more. What are you working on anything during the off season? Does that happen at the high school level with your athletes, or are they just kind of doing their own thing and maybe hitting the weight room every once in a while? How's that work at high school?
Yeah, we definitely we try to get after it, and I'm not going to say we work year round. We get a few months off after we lost in the regular the first week of the playoffs to Cass Tech. But yeah, starting about the middle of January or so, I got about 40 or 50 of them in a class together, and they're working out pretty hard right now, just trying to get stronger. And if they're not in my class, they're staying after school doing the same thing. And we're kind of just doing that, kind of waiting for the weather to break, where we can kind of get outside and start doing stuff and running around and moving. The state has like the rules and guidelines that we got to follow. We can't have any team activities. So usually it's that first week of June. I got to look at this year's calendar. I don't even know when it is, but I think June 1st might be a weekend. So it might be that following week. They do a good job, like themselves, the kids, of staying active and going out, and whether it's working out at this place, that place, playing on 7-on-7 leagues, like they do a real good job of, I guess, keeping the rust off. So when the snow finally melts and we can get out there, they're ready to go.
And, your quarterback's coach right in the heart of the offense. And this offense has been so good the last couple of years. And, you've also really been blessed to have a lot of people on your team, not only your starting quarterbacks, but other people who can throw the ball, So it's made it really exciting. Anything you want to just mention that you're excited about in your preparations for next year's campaign?
Thanks. I appreciate it. Yeah, we're definitely excited. We have a good group of kids, but they think they work pretty hard. They're focused, and they know that they got potential, but that only means so much, and they have to kind of follow through just to give themselves a chance and an opportunity to get to where they want to be. So they've done a real good job of that. We're definitely excited about like the direction we're going, and I've kind of always said that good players make coaches look a little bit smarter. So we're going to have some good players and make me look a little bit smarter.
All right. Well, Coach, thank you very much for being with us this morning. Thanks for sharing your stories about Matt. That's one of the main reasons we wanted to get with you this morning.
Yeah.
And good to chat anyway. And thank you for joining us. I appreciate you taking a minute or two for our audience.
Yeah, absolutely. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys.
All right. He is the quarterbacks coach of your West Bloomfield High School Lakers. Zach Hilbers joining us this morning right here on the Splash. Only got a minute or so left. Just a couple other things I want to mention to you that we have on our calendar here. If I can get to the right page of my script. Don't forget that we have the 2023 Black Expo coming up at Orchard Mall. Mark your calendar for February 25th, and this is going to be happening at 10 o'clock in the morning, running till 1 o'clock in the afternoon. All ages are invited. Still an opportunity if you want to register for the event, and you can get a hold of the people at Orchard Mall. I'm sure they'll point you in the right direction, and I believe this is all being produced by the West Bloomfield Parks and Recreation Department. Over at Parks and Rec, they also have another program called Snowshoe with Your Sweetie. That's coming up Valentine's weekend, right around the corner, and you'll be able to take a guided snowshoe hike through the snow-covered forest with your Valentine. Listen to the crunch of snow and maybe even a hoot of owls while you experience a little magical winter. That's coming up. Get out to the Parks and Recreation site and register for that. Should be a lot of fun. Snow, no snow. It isn't going to matter. You'll really enjoy. And that's all the time we have. I want to thank Jared for doing an amazing job in the other room and Calvin in our other studios. Guys, really making all this happen each and every morning. My colleague Tyler Keefe, and thank you for watching this morning. See you bright and early tomorrow morning right here on Civic Center TV on the Splash Live.